Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Tin Barn. I'm Pragmatic Lee, of course. Today we're going to start another little project. I'm not going to try to say how many parts it's going to be because I always get it wrong when I record the introduction anyhow. But I don't think it'll be very long, may even be a single part one. Right after I got this mini mill, this is the first mill I got, a little X2D from a little machine shop. One of the first things I built for it or made for it was a fly cutter. I think that's probably a project that most everybody that's got some home shop equipment has built. This is a little one, uses a 1/4 inch high-speed steel tool bit. After getting my Precision Matthews mill, been planning on making one of them, making a fly cutter for it as well. Of course, a much larger one. Just kept being on the list of things to do, but just never got around to it. Recently, this old Tony on his YouTube channel made one, and that kind of sparked my interest again. And I've got a little project coming up that's going to require, well, not require, but where a fly cutter would come in good. So I'm going to build one today. I have a little bit larger piece of material. Again, this was the one for the mini mill. I'm starting out with this is 2-inch diameter material. Starting out with about a 3-inch piece. I mentioned in my last video on the vices, making the vices, that I'd come across some of this material right here, and I have no idea what this material is. It machines very good, leaves a nice finish. It's what I made the pedestals for the vices out of. I've got 2 8-foot pieces of this. Probably used about 2 foot of one of them so far in just odd and end projects. I think they're boat propeller shafts. They're obviously not stainless steel. You can see this is pretty rusty. But what I'm going to do is put this in the lathe and face off the end and turn it down enough to get some of the rust off of, turn around and do the other end, and then we'll actually start working on our piece. I have the piece in the lathe now, and we're going to face off this end and then beat the rust down on approximately half the length of it. Alright, both ends of this is going to get turned down a little bit, or at least one end will for the shaft. So that's enough cleanup on that. I'm going to turn it around, go ahead and face the other side. We're going to go about 1.5 inches for the shaft and 1.5 inches for the body. So I want to face this down, I want to turn this down to just enough to get rid of the rust, to get a good smooth surface. This will be the body end down here. So I have the Z-axis zeroed out on the lathe now. And I'm going to come in 1.5 inches. And I'm going to set my carriage stop right there. And this rust is obviously very hard on an insert, so I'm going to take it pretty slow, pretty easy to begin with, and try to get some of this rust knocked off. Alright, that's going to take just a couple more passes and we'll have that cleaned up. Okay, that cleaned up everything but one little spot right here on the end.